私の名前はようゆめです。こんにちは。悪いことが起こらないことを願っています。可能じゃありません。
Fumos. Within the past 5 years or so, it's very likely you've seen a blue-haired idiot spin on a Roomba, get a robot stuffed into it, or even watch it get deep fried. They come from the World of Toho project, a wonderful community full of creative people who can quite literally change the world.
$1,400 dues for a another 1,000, 1,200 for freaking murder. She's not even jumbo size. It's just dude, $572 for a Surno. The best part of all, suntan Surno. That is not suntan. I'm sorry. Used near mint. No, don't.
Well, I did make a video discussing them a while ago, but the quality is... Reimu Marisa Fumo, and it was said that they sold out very... Okay, but considering we live in the futuristic society of 2024, and with my current editing knowledge and skills, there is a lot left to learn about the world of Fumos. But before we get into that hunky-junky...
Pop quiz. Which is the real Marisa and which is the faker? But before we get to the answer though, we have to learn a bit about history.
Every popular medium gets plushies at some point. Mario, Pokemon, Angry Birds. They typically come out because the companies behind the franchises wanted to capitalize on their successes. Not Toho, surprisingly. It's a Doujin franchise, small self-published works that don't have the backing of big companies. So for the longest time, the plushies of the Toho girls had to come from the fans themselves. This leads us to the Doujin circle, Angel type. More specifically with the artist, Neji Kiryu, where back in January 2007, he would draw Romelia Scarlet holding Sakuya Izayoi in dog form. Hey, it was the mid-2000s, it was all about chibi plushies back then. Neji Kiryu would continue to make more drawings of her since the people of Japan really adored the concept of an evil maid being a puppy. A year later in 2008, Angel Type would get the letter of a lifetime from the people at Gift, a company that specializes in plushies.
Oh, yes!
Yeah, there's no build up for this. They want to make plushies of the dog maid, and at least from what I can guess, Inu Sakuya sold well enough to warrant a Reimu and Marisa Fumo, in which they were to be put to the ultimate test. At Comic-Con 76 in 2009, the people there wanted them so badly that according to legend, they were sold out almost instantly. The demand greatly outweighed the supply. Keep that in mind for later. It's like turning on the car engine in the garage. Things won't end well. Anyway, due to the success, the people at Angel Type and Gift saw the need to think bigger and bigger for 2010 and 2011, which led to the development and the release of the elusive, grand, disgusting can of worms that is the Decafumo. These things are so big, so expensive, so laughably stupid, yet so desirable that it was the final Infinity Stone needed to set up Fumos for infamy.
Welcome to the world of tomorrow!
I'd say Fumo culture took off after Decafumos in 2011, as it was really the first distinct piece of physical Toho merch that appealed to a general audience. Yeah, it wasn't the first, as various figures and blankets or whatever came out, but they're too geeky and generic to stand out. If you see a Marisa or Romelia holding a Decafumo of their characters at a convention, yeah, of course you'd say something. They're eye catchers. Main problem though, they're really effing expensive without even considering the import tax, the shipping fees, the overpriced acid rain insurance. But you're going to have to wait to see angry Suwako, as we're still in the year 2011. But time progressed very quickly. Every 2 times a year or so, GIF developed new Fumos, re-released the occasional old ones, and even made new types. From the keychain Fumos that no one cares about, to the medium-sized Fumos that some care about.
You think I'm biased? Oh yeah, I am.
Still though, as 2018 came to an end, GIF still hadn't figured out their supply chain issues. But that never really mattered, as Fumos had always been a small part of the Touhou community. They were cute, but only appealed to the hardcore fanbase that know their way around proxies and VPNs and all that buzz. That, and just the fact that very few actually knew of their existence in the first place. Do you ever just wake up one morning and think, man, I'd love to solve the quadratic formula with my nostrils? No one dared do it before because it was pretty effing stupid, but it takes one man's courage to change the future. Enter Umeme. Umeme is a YouTuber who specializes in Fumo content, especially playing as the puppeteer on making the little dinguses tell random stories. On December 19th, 2018, she released Touhou Fumos 1, Reimu encounters an easygoing egoist. It's a short video about Reimu getting a $1 bill as a gift. Then she discovers the reality of the social security tax. Over time, she posted more short videos that just hit a certain nerve of people. You don't need to understand Touhou to enjoy Doremi being a stalker. It helped too that Umeme is a custom Fumo maker and did commissions at one point, but I think she closed it at some point, so don't get your hopes up. Whatever the case, her videos are easily repostable as memes on Discord and Depression Bird app, leading to her channel expanding, and thus the explosion of Fumos. Good times were growing in the Touhou scene into the year 2020. Wait, lockdowns were 20 years ago? I can't believe it! 2020 wasn't exactly the easiest time for everyone, especially with the Touhou fans who don't go outside often.
I can attest to that.
People needed some comfort during dark times, and Fumos were a way out for them, mixed with the boom of online shopping and everything else before.
Holy crap, Fumos are off the charts. Oh, I can't wait to tell my manager this. But first, I gotta work the Fumo making machine harder. Work!
They haven't fixed the supply chain issues, haven't they? Gift got massive free advertisement from memers, but in exchange, they got people buying from the websites Gift and AmiAmi were met with problems due to the insane demand, mostly because of hoarders and people reselling them on eBay for the price of a car loan. Though Gift couldn't care less due to how so many people were buying them in the limited time frame they become available. But I'd imagine that most people interested in Fumos can admit that a few scalpers buying them in hordes is a pretty scummy thing to do. So sometime in 2022, Gift announced a new system of handling Fumos where, for every buyer and every Fumo, you'll be able to pre-order up to 3 max. And thanks to this good news, everyone was somewhat happier. And now we come to the modern day. There's a video game for the little idiots, customs being made everywhere, and the most heinous fact of all, I actually own a few in my grasp. Fumo story time. I have a collection of Fumos that I'm going to boast about right now. First things first is this Reimu. She's apparently a Nendoroid, which on the Fumo website is supposed to be official, or not. I don't know, it's kind of weird. Little ponytail. You cannot forget the Moria. She's a bootleg nugget. I mean, just look at her. Look how... this poor man's face. All blue eyes and all that. But more importantly, Pionta. It looks like one of those fishes from SpongeBob, just... If you ever want a Fumo for people to sign, get a bootleg Moria. They're cheap, they're pretty good. No way, it's the Suwako! It's the Suwako plush! No what? Ah! This is one of the few official Fumos that I have in my possession, so I make sure to take special care of her. Put it in frame. Ooh. This is my Decaflandra, and you can tell she's a... Oh, the reason why I got her was because one of my other friends has a Decamocofumo, and she uses it inside of her streams every once in a while, so I was like, screw it. These things are cheap on eBay, I'll get one. And after about a few months, it came to my house in a freaking shipping crate. But voila! And now it's time for the final Fumos. A Marisa, a gift given to me by a friend, and... dingus. Another Marisa that I kind of forgot where I got her from. In the beginning of the video, I talked to you about the quiz. Which one is the real one, and which one is the bootleg? I don't know, this one looks a little kooky, but this one, I don't know, she's a little too yellow for me. I hope you posted your answers in the comments section because boy, you're going to be shocked by the results. They're both fake. If my quiz confused you, then congratulations, because it leads me to my next point. I'm going to say something very controversial. I think Fumo culture is disgusting. It's an over-exaggeration, but do you get my point? If you know me personally, you'll know that I am not the biggest fan of how seemingly complicit the Fumo community is with Gift and AmiAmi's practices. That and that one creepy ass subreddit I really don't want to talk about, but first, some positivity. The Touhou community is special because it's really one of the last bastions of where fans can truly follow the desires of the game's creator. Zun has implemented rules for fan content that fans follow and will enforce to a T. And it's a practice that I think is healthy for the community that supports and deeply loves its artists. Well dude, what about Fumos? When considering buying from Gift, it ranges from, oh it's questionable, consider your choices, to, no, buying from Gift is the equivalent of getting scammed. Why such a radical stance? Let's consider the following. There was a news article talking about how people were celebrating the AmiAmi site crashing due to the influx of Fumo buyers, and them huddling in calls to get their Fumos before the scalpers and overworked clueless dads for Christmas, all selling out in less than 3 minutes. Now, with all due respect, it does sound pretty interesting to ruin a child's Christmas dream, but no. I think that it represents one of the fundamental issues with Fumos as a whole. First things first, you know how much it costs to get a Fumo from AmiAmi? Newer Fumos are hovering around the 6,000 yen mark, or for simplicity's sake, 40 Freedom Eagles. That's a little pricey for a plush this size, but that's not even considering good old taxes and shipping. That's already going to add on a good 10 to 15 Freedom Eagles. But wait, in this situation, you must also consider that Gift is not really friendly to shipping outside of Japan, so in order to get these goods, you need to meet someone in Japan to get them from you. Ideally, you'd have a friend be the middleman for free. I never knew Japanese people were a thing. They practically don't exist in this argument, so in this case, you're going to have to turn to proxies and forwarders, which are middlemen companies with their own little kinks and dinks, but are also worth a pretty penny for service fees. I've used Baiyi before, and assuming you're using the cheapest shipping option, we'll add another 10 to 15 Freedom Eagles to the bill. Now, you gotta wait a couple of months for the Fumo pre-order to end, enter customs hell, pray that the Los Angeles black hole doesn't ruin the precious dingus, wait a few more weeks to arrive on your door, and voila! It's at your door in, hopefully, one piece. In the end, I would assume getting a Fumo via Gift would cost around $60 to $85 per Fumo. Per Fumo. And that's just shipping to the United States. If you live in Argentina, then good freaking luck. What about Decafumos? If you're in the market for those, just say goodbye to your retirement fund. I know what I described is an outdated method, as it has been made easier thanks to AmiAmi recently allowing international shipping from their website directly. But I can still make a good guess that the $60 threshold is not that far off from the truth. Especially for you, Argentina. Now, I shouldn't be the one complaining about what others spend their money on because... yeah. but it strikes a bit of a nerve with me because of the existence of bootlegs. If you go to Amazon and search up Fumos, you'll either find a dinky bagged up Yuka for $500 dues, or a sad little Cerno for 25 bucks.
Shipping included, mate.
Come on, why don't people buy from us? We literally make Fumos.
Mate, I just don't get it. Why do people buy this?
Fumos are stupidly expensive, and dare I say, you know you effed up when a plush will cost more than a modern AAA game. I don't think Gift likes it when we buy from bootleggers in China. Well, it certainly doesn't help that Gift only sells some of the dinguses like twice a year. There are a couple of Fumos that have only been sold once about a decade ago, and now are some of the rarest ones around. And you can get them on AliExpress for 30 bucks a pop. I would say that there are very few reasons to buy official Gift Fumos, and I'm still surprised that most of the community has turned a blind eye to the practice of artificial scarcity. And the worst part is, Gift is actively shooting themselves in the foot with lost opportunity and profit. The reason why Chinese bootleggers keep appearing is because they appear on more reasonable shopping sites and sell all year round. I swear, Gift should just set up an official Amazon store, charge the Fumos at like a 10% premium or something, and wabam, easy profit. They do it on eBay. For Amazon, I don't know. Even though Gift discourages buying from bootleggers, I still say that if you're looking to buy a Fumo, just get the bootlegs from Amazon or AliExpress. My Moria is the only small official Fumo I own, and when comparing them to my Marisas, yeah, just be real with yourself, you couldn't even tell the difference, even upon touching them. Bootleggers are weirdos, but are also heroes. I mean, they made the Lily White Fumo. No one makes merch of her. Mike, the little cat, Tsukasa, the little scum, Ronnie from a game I don't care about, and even my deck of flangers a bootleg. Their faces can be that feeling when you drink orange juice after brushing your teeth, but I'd say they're still charming, maybe from 5 feet away, but I think you get the point. Despite the fact that I have my problems with Fumos as a whole, and the fact that I still think buying from Gift or AmiAmi is the equivalent of scamming yourself mixed with a midlife crisis, it's not like I think Fumos are all evil though.
Gubu, you see this? Read it!
The memes can get a little cringy at points, but they make people interested in Touhou. If you ask a Touhou fan what they really like, they'd love more people to learn about this niche franchise. At least in that aspect, it gets an A-OK for me. I think the best part about Fumos is how they can carry so much meaning. You know my Moria Fumo? The one I managed to win through so much pain? The one with maple leaves on it? A symbol of friendship. I hope, even though I still think Gift is a pretty confusing company, you still gotta admit that all of this originally stemming from a fan-made Inu Sakuya photo, then thanks to various fan activities, sprouting into some of the most known plushies in the world. And at least in my eyes, it's rather inspiring.
笑ってるけど、気をつけてね。次果て前です。